what is money? Now, there's a lot of look, I've come across a lot of professionals over the years, especially the skeptics, or whether there was a lack of a click or a connect in a relationship. And I've been told that money isn't everything. And my reply has typically been, well, how do you survive? How do you live? How do you pay your bills? What does your lifestyle look like for you? Because money is a resource. It's a requirement. It's a tool. Without it, you're going to live a challenging lifestyle. Who would agree with that? Anybody want to unmute and say yes or agree? Unmute, unsure?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Now, when we talk about your relationship, your mindset, see, as kids, subconsciously we're fed every day. We're fed data. We're fed information. And as we grow up, we tend to make conscious decisions based on what we've learned subconsciously. So if we look at our paradigm, we look at how we think and how our mindset works, the accumulation of money really comes down to habits and understanding. So these are probably some of the questions you want to make a note of. What do you seek and want out of your life? What does your lifestyle look like right now? Do you believe or feel if you work hard enough and save that things will improve? Have you been presented ideas, options before that, I don't know, may have failed you? Where you've been burnt, you've been left abandoned. You may have come out of a relationship, out of a marriage, out of a divorce. You may have been ripped off by a partner, and that's kind of left you mentally unsettled. So if I've got you thinking, great. If anyone understands, let's say you're broke, or you may want to ask me a key question, Charles. What would you do if, let's say, I lost everything tomorrow? Would I panic? No. Would I know what to do? Absolutely. And the reason why I'm making that statement is because being a migrant, I know what it's like to be burnt, to be left unsettled, to be ripped off. I know what it's like. I also understand what it's like to be broke. And this is why I'm sharing this tonight, because you can be broke and accumulate wealth. You don't need to have a university degree. You don't have to be great at your job. You just have to understand what money actually is, the true meaning of money. Yes, it's digital. Yes, it's intangible. And understanding, what do I need to do as an individual, the types of decisions, and am I actually going to act? Because at the end of the day, decisions typically are bullshit. Excuse the French. And when I say bullshit, because we tend to make a lot of decisions, but we don't act on those decisions. We don't really fully commit and apply activity. So there's a lot of knowledge out there in the world, but are we applying that knowledge? Are we really acting on that knowledge? Habits typically take 30 to 60 days to apply and to develop. So habits create and allow opportunity. Your subconscious we can all make a decision just like that. If I want to make a decision, I'll grab a pad, I'll grab a pen, and I'll make notes. My affirmations that I write every day. If I take this book, for example, Think and Grow Rich, which is a book, this is a book which I've read quite a few times. And there's one particular chapter, chapter 8, decisions, 158, procrastination. Tell the world, opinions. Everyone has a flock of opinions, but decisions. How do you make your decisions? How do you act on those decisions? Does that make sense to everyone? Or have I lost everyone? Is everybody still there?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah? Because in business and in life, I come across business owners and professionals every day where there's this common statement. Yeah, definitely. Charles, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. And there's a lot of these little statements and little comments and everything else, but nobody really acts. Now, I'm going to share a little formula with you, because I can imagine by now, and I get this a lot from everybody. Well, not from everybody, but I get this a lot. You need money to make money. Now, I'm not going to object to that. However, I'm going to show you a formula where I'm going to start with $1. Yes, $1. Takes $1 to accumulate momentum that's going to create an income stream. And you're probably thinking, $1, Charles? Mate, what's $1? Well, if you're broke, you're not going to look at $100,000. If you're broke, you're not going to look at $500,000. If you're broke, mate, you're not even going to look at $5,000. So I want to keep it in simple terms. And for anyone here that has the wealth, I would expect you to understand this formula as good as I do. So anyone that's in my shoes, I already expect you to be aware and have a fundamental understanding of this particular formula that I'm about to share with you tonight. So we grab $1, right? Can you all see that screen?
Oh, I only see the desktop.
It's just your desktop again.
Oops. There we go. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Right. So I lose everything tomorrow. I've got $1. If I put $1 away for 52 weeks a year, what do I get? $52. Now, with that $52, if I was to exercise that $52 into a resource or turning that monetary value into an asset, within the second year, I've tripled that amount to 156. Now, if you do the math, I've basically started with $1 a week. At the end of the year of $52 a week. By the end of the second year, I've got $156. I've pretty much tripled my money. And then the sum, the following year, and in the following year, and in the following year. So over 5 years, starting with $1, this is my end result. Now, imagine if I put $5 away a week, I'd end up with 5 times the amount. with 5 times the amount, I can then diversify my asset portfolio, which will then accumulate and increase on these numbers. Makes sense? And I've started with $1. Not talking about $100,000. I'm talking about $1, guys. Do you understand that formula? So if you've got, I'm using the dollar formula. I'm trying. My endeavor right now is to keep this really, really simple for you all to understand. Because yes, I deal with clients that invest $100,000, but you're not there yet. So I want to keep this in simple terms. And look, if you've got $100,000 to invest, great. We can turn that $100,000 into $5 million in the next 5 years. Not a problem. But if you are unemployed and you're in the shit and you're not sure and think, oh God, that formula has got nothing to do with going to work, has got nothing to do with saving money, because I hate to break it to you all, I do not save money. I don't. But I live a great lifestyle, beautiful home, beautiful area. I'm not sharing this with you to brag. I'm trying to justify a point to you all. One's lifestyle is a presentation of their demeanors, their activity levels, their relationship with who they are as a person, and their behaviors. Is that clear? And that's starting with $1. If I had to start everything tomorrow from scratch, look, you may put away $10 a week. You may opt and put away $5 a week. You may opt and put away $50 a week. That's not up to me. That's up to you to make that choice, that decision. But you've got to commit. Once you've started putting away the $1, the $5, whatever the case scenario may be, that then becomes a habit. That habit becomes a repetition behavior, like making your coffee in the morning, like going to your favorite gym, hanging out at your favorite coffee shop. All these habits become repetitious. They become second nature. That habit, whatever you practice, if I want to become fit and healthy, I've got to go to the gym. I've got to implement the right behaviors, the right demeanors, the right activities to walk out of that gym for my output to be fit, be strong, and be healthy. The right demeanors. Guys and girls, it's the same with money. Now, you can say, yeah, but money isn't everything. I didn't say that money was everything either. However, money is an essential resource. It is a resource. It allows you to put food on the table. It allows you to buy your motor vehicle. It allows you to buy that computer you need to work remotely from home. It allows you the essentials. It allows you opportunity to learn, to uncover, go to school. It allows you to acquire a driver's license. Whether you like it or not, money is an essential resource of life. The difference is your relationship with it. People that say that money isn't everything, I'll tell you what, please don't take offense to this, guys. You are kidding yourselves. You cannot survive without cash flow. It is fundamentally, scientifically impossible. Correct? Now, I'm not here to give you a drill session tonight. I'm basically tonight, I'm here to share my experiences. Mate, I've been broke. I know what it's like to be in your shoes, whether you are in that situation, yes or not. I've been there. I know what it's like. But the work hard and save, we're not in 1998. We're in 2021. The world has changed. The way we buy, the way we sell, the way we work, the way we operate. This is 2021. If everybody just worked hard and saved, mate, your wives in Africa be rich. You'd all be rich, but you're not, because you don't understand. What is money? Your relationship with money, and then the well-being around it. And how do you accumulate it? Yes, I read books. Yes, affirmations. These are my affirmations. I'm showing this to you because I'm actively doing it. I make a decision. I act on it. I put away. Yes, I'm an active investor. Of course I am. That's part of the process. There is a process. There are systems and processes in place. Does anyone want to jump in and share a comment? I don't know, a disagree or agree in the chat? Sure.
Is it Jan? Is Jan's turn?
Jan, yes.
Me?
Did anyone have I saw a raise of hands from Ra there. Did anyone have a question or a comment? Kemi, on base of what I've just shared thus far? No?
Me,
Okay. Right.
money. I guess money's important in life. You have to make things work out. That's my.
Yeah, look, I'm not, I would never enforce or bully a concept that money or capital or working capital is everything. Not at all. But you cannot deny we need it. Every single human being walking the face of this earth requires money, unless you want to live on the streets. That's your prerogative. It's an essential requirement. And it's a matter of understanding. You've got to all understand as well, one day you cannot go to work, whether you're mentally unfit or whether you physically cannot go to work. So you've got to ask yourself that question. Hang on a minute. Shit, what is Charles asking me now? It's going to happen. What are you going to do about it? Are you working for it, or is your money working for you? That's a secret. Do you want to know the secret to wealth? Make your money work for you. That's it. That's the key core ingredient. But you've got to want it. If you don't care for money, I can guarantee you right now, it won't happen. If you think, oh, I'll survive or get by, it's not going to happen. But if you wake up and say, you know what? This is me. This is me. Very young age, I left Australia. I was in my late teens. I went to Europe. Broke. Migrated to Australia. I come from a very, very poor family, guys. People think I come from a rich family. Why? Because I live on the water? Hell no. So as a teenager growing up, I read books. Number one, I read books. I got taught by the best. Bob Proctor, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, not the bullshit coaches that advertise themselves on LinkedIn and Facebook every day. I'm talking about experts that have actually been there and done it. They've owned businesses. They have failed. They have huge success stories. They're my coaches and mentors. I'm not coached or mentored by anyone outside that paradox. I like to be taught by people that have really been there, not the ones that have reinvented themselves during a pandemic. I'm not interested in the new emerging market of coaches just because they're bored at home and they've read a book. So I've been taught well, and look, I'm very, very passionate. As you can see it in my body language, I'm a very, very passionate professional, and I simply want to pay it forward. I want to share what I've learned, my experiences with you. That's my purpose, and that is my why factor here tonight, because I've been there. And to be quite frank, the majority of the people that I've worked with here in Australia and overseas that are successful and wealthy, they started in debt. They were broke. They didn't know what else to do. They started from zero. Look at Richard Branson. Richard Branson, from memory, I could be incorrect about the numbers, but Richard Branson, he had about $300,000 debt to start with Virgin. He was in a lot of trouble, a lot of financial trouble. So we're merely sharing our experiences with everyone because there is a way. Guys, I didn't finish school. Yes, I went to uni. I did okay, but that's not why I'm successful today. It's not. Not because I went to uni. Mate, who gives a shit? I went to uni, I learned a few things, but that's irrelevant. My experiences that I want to share with you tonight is based on reality. It's happened. Change your behavior. The formula that I presented tonight was $1. I didn't talk about 20 grand. I didn't talk about 100. I didn't do that. My formula starts with $1 freaking dollar. I'm sure everyone here tonight can look at that formula and have a hard think about it. I turned that $1 into 25K in 5 years. I didn't have to go to work for it. I didn't save it. I simply put that $1 one side every week. I ended up with $52. And that $52 at the end of the year, I said to myself, right, how do I turn this $52 into something else? I turned that $52 into a passive income, and then it just accumulated. As I showed you in that graph, it just accumulated over time. You may want to start with $5 a week. You may want to start with $20 a week. That's strictly up to you. But I am sick to death of hearing everybody out there trying to work hard. I understand we all work hard, but I work smarter. I work smarter, guys. Yes, I work hard, but I also work a lot smarter. I don't have my money sitting in the bank. I don't. That's the key difference. I turned, because I am my relationship with money, the money that I had, the money that I saved in Europe, got me nowhere. It did. It got me nowhere. How many? I bet the majority of you here tonight have money in the bank and have tried to save the money in the bank, and you're thinking, do I go out and get a second job? But what happens when I'm older? I'm going to retire and I can't physically go to work. What are you going to do when you can't go to work anymore? What are you going to do? You've got 47 years of your work capacity to figure this out. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't. And then once that accumulation of your capital takes place, your confidence goes up. This is what happens when your habits change. Your confidence goes up. Do I look depressed? Do I look like I'm in the shit? Look at the amount of profanity that comes out of my mouth. That's how confident I am. Your confidence goes up. Your self-esteem goes up. You start exploring different ventures like gold or precious metals or cryptocurrency. You even may look at property and real estate. That's up to you. You may look at other asset portfolios. In that regard, my advice to you all here tonight is when you embark on that exploration and discovery journey, make sure you do it with the right people and not the bullshit artists. They haven't got the proof, haven't got the facts, or haven't got the courage to speak to you like I am tonight. See, I'm not sitting here with a script. I don't have a script. I know my stuff. It's content up here because I've been through it. I know this works. I don't have to say to you that my formula or me, I consider myself a money expert or an investment manager. Those comments come from my clients. What I share for you is factual. It's not stuff that's made up. It works. And it works for anyone here that's got money. I can tell you now, they're going to agree with me. They understand exactly what I'm talking about. That's the difference between invest versus save. You can save as much as you like. And I wish you all the very best. However, the day you tap into retirement, when you can no longer show up to a job or no longer work remotely or can no longer run your own business, that employment, money coming in to save, that's going to stop. But hang on a minute. If you're like me, as an investor, I put my cash into various asset portfolios. When I retire, they're still working. And it can still work for you whilst you're in a job or running a business. You could be an employee. You could be an entrepreneur. What's stopping you from having a passive income or multiple streams of income? Can you imagine if you're in your 20s or you're a millennial or if you're my age group, it's never too late to start. But what's important is understanding your relationship. What is money? Your habits. Like Kemi, she's a health expert. Anyone that wants to be healthy or is a professional trainer, they're going to say the same thing. Anyone that's a dietitian, anyone that repetition of the right practice. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. I'm not suggesting that you're going to be rich in the next couple of years. I didn't say that either. But hang on a minute. My formula tonight, as I showed you, and I'll go back to it again, started with $1, as you can see. Can we all see that? It's not that hard, is it? Correct? Not that hard?
Yeah, not at all.
So imagine if this number here was, I don't know, 20,000. That's going to impact these numbers. It's going to impact if you started with $1,000. But I've begun with $1 a week. $1, you do the math, it's $52 at the end of the year. If you utilize if you have the right people in your life and the right assets, you can turn that into that amount. And then the formula, as you can see, there's an accumulation in 5 years. Now, for anyone that's wealthy, they'll probably look at this and say, oh, mate, $1 peanuts. You're right. So then imagine if that was $100,000, what your output would be in 5 years. Correct? Has anyone got any questions? Please.
I love it, Charles. Hi, my name is Radi, if people don't know me. So I'm an entrepreneur. Basically, exactly what Charles said, it starts with the mindset. My background, I did a bit of carpentry, a bit of the trade work, a bit of the labouring. Currently, I'm just doing a bit of dominoes on the side to fund a business. Me and Charles, we're starting a partnership in the real estate industry, starting our buyer's agency. Like you said, it's all about investment. For me, I'm trying to save for the insurance and the like the business startup type of thing. So you're looking around like 5-10 grand. Now, as you know, pandemic hit me. I can't do my labouring, which was about $1,000. And I totally agree with Charles. You know, he's been there, done that, and I'm privileged to learn off him. So does that mean when you're saying investments, yes, you need capital to raise capital. So how are you talking about stocks? Are you talking about trading? Because if so, how do we start?
Okay, what I'd like to do is I'm going to dive into the various assets and availabilities. I can see I've got William Zhang here tonight, and I'm quite certain, as he's also an investor, he will back me on some of the suggestions I have. Now, I make this very, very clear. I'm not looking for anyone here to buy my products and services. I'm not here to present a sale. I'm sharing my experiences. That's it. If you feel you want to connect with me later on a one-on-one level, by all means. But I'm not one to go out and chase the markets. I typically pick my clients. I'm happy to work with you on an individual basis, but just keep in mind, this is purely educational only. I'm here to help, because I know we're in a lockdown. We're sick and tired of being at home. We're sick and tired of not having the life that we want to live. If I can do it, guys, trust me, I'm no better than anyone here. However, my actions are different. I've behaved differently. I've forced myself to do things differently. I have. I'm not better, but I have acted differently, which has led me to the present position that I am today, where I can pay it forward and give you access to the resources, access to the knowledge, and access to my experiences, and learn from that. That's the purpose of tonight. I just want to quickly do a quick share. I want to let the world know that we're all here tonight. Everybody to smile. Is everybody happy? Shake your hands. Yeah, look, before Mel falls asleep, right, you all want to stand up, do a bit of exercise, shake your hands, call me dumb. You're sick of Charles. Kemi looks like she's falling asleep. How is everyone tonight?
Good. Very good.
Positive and productive
Awesome.
night. Has anyone learnt anything tonight?
Yeah, tons
Everything.
actually.
Tons.
Tons.
Thank you for all joining me. How is everyone tonight? See? You can laugh at my recording later, yeah?
Kelly the Savage.
So I'm going to go into more detail when we talk about passive income streams, because obviously, look, Liquidity is derived from a resource or a platform or a commodity, whether it's physical or whether it's digital. It's got to come from somewhere. Now, it can also be the banks. You know, there are such things as term deposits. You can put money into a term deposit. So I'm not here to banter against traditional models. I'm looking at every single model, okay? Do I use term deposits personally? No. And that's just my belief system. You may have a separate belief system to myself, but the point is you've got to park your funds somewhere. It's got to be active in any case or scenario somewhere. So I will now share. So as I mentioned, change your habits, guys. Can you all see that screen? See if I've got it right the first time. Did I get that right the first time in the screen share?
Nope.
Hopefully I will improve by the end of tonight.
There it is.
So change your habits. Utilizing the initial formula presented and change your habits. Where and how? You've got two options. You can join me weekly on a Tuesday evening, same time, same place, or we can connect and go on a one-on-one, because when we're talking investing, when we're talking any type of portfolio, anything financial, in my experience, I have found these types of conversations are highly delicate and they're highly sensitive. No one is going to talk about their money in an open forum. Very, very rarely is anyone going to admit they're financially stressed in a forum like this tonight. So I wouldn't expect anybody to admit that vulnerability here tonight. I would anticipate those conversations to take place in a discovery fashion, privately, and in confidentiality. So questions are, who are you? Do you speculate? Hope for the best? Are you more of a person that likes to trade, you know, go in to eToro or crypto.com or AFX trading and look at a particular stock? Could be Apple, could be whatever the stock may be. Do you like to buy it, hodl, and then sell? So you buy in a trough and you sell in the peak? That could be you. Or, like myself, I'm an investor. And what that means is I don't speculate. I avoid trading as much as I can, as much as possible, because it's very, very time consuming and it can be very stressful, especially when you're losing money. So I'm more of the investor. I look at the longer term. I allocate my funds. I put my money into a portfolio, into an asset pool, or I buy a particular asset and I leave it alone. I don't look at it. I don't look at the graphs. I don't care to study. I don't need to be a financial analyst. I allocate that capital and I leave it alone for the next few years. That's my relationship with that particular investment. I sleep better at night for it. The areas to explore, we've got two types. We've got digital assets, being non-tangible, like money. Money's digital. Whether it be gold or Bitcoin or altcoins or other investments within the digital asset space environment, or it could be property, physical. You know, you could be looking at a rental property. You could be looking at a refinance or an equity release, whatever those processes may look like. I can be your resource for access, for knowledge, how the process works, what it looks like, your gains, how you benefit, and what the end output may look like. Does anyone have any questions based on what I just shared? Hi, Susan. Thank you for joining us. You got to unmute yourself. You can come in quickly and introduce yourself.
I'm sorry. I so apologize.
It's okay. Good morning. Good morning, Canada. I think it's what, 7 o'clock, 6 a.m.
It's 6:46 a.m.
6:46. Welcome to the presentation tonight. I'm kind of 90% into the presentation thus far. Nonetheless, I'm happy to share the recording with you later on. Or Susan, what sort of prompted you? What did you want to sort of that I can go back and cover for you quickly? Is there something in particular that prompted your attention to join tonight's discussion that I can?
Overall, I'm just interested in whatever you have to say. I'm sure I can learn.
Okay.
So
what does so look, we're connected on LinkedIn. Especially my closer clients, I'm considered the money expert. And what a money expert is, someone that knows how to negotiate deals. So I can walk into a shop and look at a toaster, and I present that toaster on the counter, and I can say, right, I've seen this price online, which is cheaper. Would you be kind enough in moving on price? That's just one element, right? So it's, being a bargain shopper. Number two, based on my upbringing, based on my experience in travel, based on coming from a very, very poor family, I was born broke, grew up poor. So as a teenager growing up in Australia, my mind was, how do I get out of this shithole of being broke? How do I want to buy that beautiful car. I want to live in that beautiful home. I want to be able to raise a family. I want to be healthy. So my purpose was to understanding money and my relationship with money. Because to make money, it's not about working hard and saving. That may have worked in the 1950s. This is 2021. The way we buy, the way we sell, the way we operate, the way we work has officially changed. Has changed. I'm not God, I can't control the change. I adapt to it. Money is an essential resource, and it starts up here with the mind, your habits. I presented a formula to everybody tonight, Susan, regarding starting with $1 a week. So if you had $1 a week and you put that aside for the next couple of years, and then you actively utilized those profits, what you would accumulate in a few years. See, that's called a habit. Making money is not about working hard and saving, because otherwise you'd all be rich and you would all be wealthy. Making money is a habit. It's a demeanor. It's a relationship that you have with it. I get told on the odd occasion, yeah, but Charles, money isn't everything. And I tend to reply, well, you're right. Money isn't everything. And I'm not here to say that money or suggest that money is everything. Not at all. However, money is a resource. It's an essential. And it's understanding, right, number one, what is it? You need to know what it is. It's like managing a car. It's like managing a home, managing a family. What does that mean to you? Money is no different. The psychology is no different. It's managing that relationship and understanding. Once you understand what money actually is, and then you look at your habits and look at your behaviors, those habits become repetitious. Before you know it, you will accumulate various income streams. Because, Susan, one day, mentally or physically, you can no longer go to work, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a balance between working for money or having your money work for you. That's the ecosystem that we're all a part of. Everyone in the world, every human being is in the same boat. You could be very wealthy and still be struggling. You could be broke, but you could start with that $1 and develop that habit and change. And I use the $1 formula because I often find, and this is coming from a lot of my current clients who are active investors today, they're tossing between 5 and 10 grand or 20 grand or $100,000. They wait until they got $100,000 saved up before they actually do anything. You don't need $100,000. You need a couple of bucks. A couple of bucks a week. I never said to anyone here tonight, you need $100,000 to start. No, I didn't do that. I started with the $1 process. And for those of you who may have more capital to work with, that's your choice. But the point of the formula was to provide a purpose. The process works. I'm living proof that it works. My clients are living proof that it works. The wealthiest people in the world are living proof that this formula and the mindset works. And like I mentioned earlier, I read books. What I share with you is not an opinion. It's not made up. Not sitting here reading a script. It's up here. I know it. I know my stuff. I've been there. I've done it. If you don't know what you're talking about and don't know your stuff, you're going to sit there and sound automated, correct? You're going to sit there and read a script because you're full of shit, correct? So the purpose of running a session like this is to give you a little bit of an understanding. If I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can. It's up here. It's your mind, your paradigm. Your paradigm controls your ability to create success. It also controls your ability to multiply your capital. Now, what have I said? Multiply your capital. I didn't say save your money. I didn't say that. I said multiply. Money is a game. If you've ever looked and played the game of Monopoly, money is a game. Got to know how to multiply it. Then your confidence, your self-esteem, your entire perspective in life will change. It will transform. And then you get to a position where, how can I pay it forward? How can I help others? So that's the purpose of tonight's session. Over to you, Susan, or anyone that wants to inject or have a question, feedback maybe.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Jan Larsson. Yeah, that formula you're talking about, is that specifically, is that how you diversify your investment into different kind of things? So
the formula is structured to give people purpose and an opportunity to start from zero. Yeah. So let's say I go bankrupt tomorrow, zilch. I bet I can make, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm about to say this because there's a reason behind this. I bet I can make more money than all of you in this entire room in the next 4 years based on that single formula, because it works. Now, excuse me if that came across a little bit cocky or arrogant, but it's the truth. It's a fact. All you got to do, and yes, once you've accumulated a bit of that capital yarn, then eventually you'll have the opportunity to diversify, whether it's gold, Bitcoin, term deposits. If you, depending on how risk diverse you are, the point is you have to do something with the money in the bank. You've got to actively allocate it or park it somewhere. Speak to someone that you trust, whether it's your accountant or your advisor, whether it be me. You may opt to learn more about me as a professional and what I've done and what I'm currently doing. You may opt to do that. I don't know. But yes, diversification. Don't always have your eggs all in one basket. No, definitely not. That's a no-no. Look, I've got clients, they're heavily invested in cryptocurrency and they're happy. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to question. I've got clients that just buy property, have no interest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but they buy property. But it's not what they've bought or invested in that matters. It's a fact that they're bloody doing something. They're actively investing. You can buy gold, you can buy property, you can buy Bitcoin, but it's not the asset. It's the nature that they've created a habit. They've realized, shit, Charles might be right. I've only got $100 in the bank, but if I give myself 10% and put that aside every time I get paid from a job, even if you're on government allowances, mate, $1 a week? You're kidding me. If you can't put $1 a week away and turn that dollar in the next 5 years into 25K, then I will shut my mouth. So, excuse my passion. I'm very, very passionate, guys, as you can see. I trust I'm not overly passionate to the point where professionalism or credibility can be lost. So my regrets if that could be the case, but I love what I do. I'm not charging anyone to be here tonight. I don't want your money. I don't need your money. I want to share my life journey with you and what's worked for me up until now and what I will continue doing so moving forward. That's the purpose of these sessions. Was there anyone else that had a sort of question or feedback maybe?
I'll say something, Charles.
Yes.
In your beginning of when I apologize for just popping in. I'm sorry. But the beginning when you did say there will one day that I will not be able to work. This is very true. But I look at the whole picture as we have our monies in our assets, our home. You know, I will consider that would be my earnings, because we will downsize, we will cash in, we will discuss on, you know, our traveling, because that's what our vision is to do a lot of traveling. So I do understand, especially the younger generation, and learning my children, my grandchildren, you know, and I'm thankful and grateful that they're all very self-employed and very take care of their money, and they're doing better than us, which is amazing. But myself, I think it's great for the younger ones to, I'm piping in actually, because I want to be able to give good advice to my children and grandchildren too.
Yeah. You've you've tapped into a very, very important point, which I kind of wouldn't say I've missed, depending on whoever wants to connect with me later and have that one-on-one conversation. That can actually pose a challenge when you diversify. Let's say you've got really bad investments that haven't worked out. And it's happened to me, it's happened to others. Because at the end of the day, I know my formula works and the process works, but there's also very, very poor investments. And that comes down to having the right people in your life that's going to present those investments. Because when a time comes when you can no longer go to work, we've got to be able to turn that investment into cash. We've got to turn that investment into liquid. This is why anyone here that loves real estate is probably going to hate me for this. Property, being an investor myself, property is probably one of the most challenging investments because you've got to sell it. It's property isn't liquid, and this is a confusion, right? A property will give you opportunity to borrow money from the bank. It will give you opportunity to put a roof over your head. It will give you the opportunity to reduce any debts that you may have in place. However, if you no longer receive an employment or an earned income and you're living in your home, unless you have an investment property, you're relying on that rental income. You're relying on the decisions and the well-being and the mindset of that tenant. Your life is dependent on the decisions of others that couldn't care less about you. What if the husband falls unemployed? They've got an agreement in place. So there are a lot of cons to real estate. It is unfortunate, but mate, these are facts. You know, you still have to sell the estate. Now, if you've got multiple properties in place, great. If one's a bad deal, you sell it, you don't get your profits or you don't get your money back, or if it doesn't really appreciate, that's okay. You're not at a huge loss. But property is a very delicate environment. It's an environment which holds a responsibility of various parties outside your lifestyle of living. Anything outside of property, whether it be cryptocurrency, gold, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, they're digital assets. They're not impacted by COVID. They're not impacted if a husband gets fired or the wife has more kids or they found a better home near the water. Digital assets, which for those of you that know me, yes, are my favorites, but they're my favorites for a reason. They're my favorites because they provide a stable income. They're not impacted or influenced by decisions external. And there's liquidity available daily. Not saying that property is a bad idea. All I'm trying to emphasize on is just be mindful. Do your research. Have the right assets. Have the right people in your life. Have people in your life, and this has always been my golden rule. Have people in your life, number one, because I'm a no fluff professional. People that know me, I don't fluff around. I don't kid around. I say it to the point. You'll either like me or you'll hate me. One of the two. I'm no fluff. And I speak from experience. Full stop. Because I've been there.
Charles, I just want to add.
Yes.
If I would have been 25 coming on to the Zoom meeting, I'm sure I probably would be 20 times more financially set. But at my age, I've raised 3 children. I have 5 grandchildren. And, you know, yeah, I think when you get to my age, your health is your wealth, right? You have to take care of
Yes.
yourself.
Oh, look, not just missing health. However, to maintain your health, you've got to go to the gym. You've got to buy dumbbells,
Yes,
being in a lockdown.
yes, absolutely.
Eating healthfully requires money. You need money to be healthy.
Yes,
You can.
absolutely.
I never met anyone that's healthy. Yes, healthy is important, but health is your well-being. You need it for your good health in your mind, but you still need that resource.
Mhm.
Money, that's what
Absolutely.
money is, a resource.
Absolutely.
If I want to go to the gym or be healthy, eat healthily, eat better quality food, train, buy dumbbells because I'm not allowed to go to the gym because we're in a lockdown. Oh, hang on a minute, I need cash. I'm not suggesting being money centric, but understanding that it's a requirement, and it often is misunderstood because a lot of people have been brought up, led to believe, go to work, get a job, and save. I hate to break it to you all. The author of this book, Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, Jordan Belfort, if they are in this forum right now, I can guarantee you they will agree with me. Why I can guarantee you that? Because I'm a student of every single mentor that I've mentioned thus far. This, what I have learned, I'm passing on. So yes, and look, I'm working on my health at the moment, eating healthily and buying in different meals and trying different ingredients. And you think it does cost money. You know, we're not living in the 1960s where $1,000 Australian a week was easy. Easy. Mate, $1 million a year in Australia is nothing. I look at $1 million a month in Australia. $1 million a month is peanuts. You can't even buy a house in Sydney for $1 million.
Wow.
And it's concerning for those that are out there battling, waking up early, showing up to the office for an employer that does not give a shit about them, that's paying them the average salary. I feel for these people. I feel for these people that are potentially unemployable, that have to be an entrepreneur and run their own business and lack the marketing, lack the sales, lack the skills. Because to be an entrepreneur, you've got to know how to sell. You've got to know how to market. You might have a great idea, but if you're invisible, no one's going to buy your products and services. Certain skills are required. Otherwise, Rade would be rich. Mel would be rich. You'd all be, hey, I'm an entrepreneur and I've merged through COVID. I've emerged from this pandemic and I've been an entrepreneur for the last couple of years and I'm killing it. Really? Show me the proof. Show me the data. Because that's what everybody on LinkedIn says. That's what everybody on Facebook says. And the minute you ask these guys, where do you live? You got proof of this? They go quiet. Typically, they go quiet. So yeah, look, raising 3 kids, that's hard. That's not easy. That's an incredible journey for anyone that's got kids. Doing it tough at the moment. Now, has tonight served its purpose? Is anyone bored? Have I driven anyone crazy tonight? Have you seen any value from tonight? Have I given any value?
Yes, you have.
Too much value.
Very much.
And I hope, Charles, I hope my input has not been negative.
No, not
Because
not at all. No, look,
Okay.
no. Health is very, very. Look, a healthy mind, a
Yes.
healthy and a clean mind and body will support growth in other areas of your life, managing the home, looking after the kids. It will also support looking after your financials. So no, it's a positive. There's an equilibrium of the two, money and health, within the same. They both synergize with each other. They're both equally as important. Yeah. All right. Sorry.
Can I just one quick question, if you have
Yes.
time? Maybe it's a bit more on the technical side, not to get into now, but would you recommend, you talk about saving, but would you also recommend borrowing money for investments?
Yeah, look, a lot of people, look, I've done it. You can borrow money as in just borrow money, or borrow money against your mortgage. There's different types of borrows, and they all have different purposes, and they'll also leave you with different outputs. So what type of money are we borrowing? Typically, I would never borrow money from the bank just to invest. I would borrow money from if I'm on a mortgage, and if I've been on that mortgage for quite some time, is what we call an equity release process. That's great to access some of that capital that you've worked hard for and to reinvest. To go out and borrow money to invest, yeah, can't say I'm a big fan of that process, because when you're borrowing money, I've got to pay interest on that borrow. I don't want to pay interest on the borrow to reinvest. But if I'm borrowing money against a loan, a current active mortgage or a debt, I'm converting bad debt into good debt. So you've got to balance a bad debt and good debt, and that investment. Yes, you're paying interest, but the interest is calculated it's obviously calculated differently, and it's structured differently. So it really comes down to how you're going to borrow that money. Where I've borrowed money to start up a business. That's a great investment, because I want to start up an office, or buy a computer, or buy whatever the tools, resources are required to start up a business. It's great, because again, I'm turning that borrow, which is bad debt, again into good debt. So it's really understanding, like anything in life, you've got to have a why, and you've got to have a purpose. Once you've got the answers to your why and purpose, then your habits, your demeanors and behaviors. Guys, if you just change one habit from tonight moving forward, making money's easy. God, it's easy. It's ridiculous. It drives me nuts. All you got to do, a couple of bucks a week, put it aside, sit on the pillow, stick it somewhere, give it to someone. Give it to someone you can trust. $2 a week. There's no get rich strategy overnight. If you're looking for quick money, I'm not the person for you. There's a process, and it takes time. If you do it properly and implement the right behavior, those habits will become second nature. If Charles is talking about $1 tonight, you may put 20 bucks away a week. That's up to you. Within the next few months, it may only be a couple of $100, but when you hit the end of the year and you look at that couple of $100 and say, right, how do I utilize that couple of $100 accordingly? And triple that, then your enthusiasm and your relationship with money develops, and it does change. Your confidence goes up. First thing. You get a bit cocky as well to say, oh, now I'm making money, I can do everything. Slow your mind down. Don't get cocky. Don't get arrogant, because it's easy to make money, but it's also easy to lose it very, very quickly too. A lot of money experts aren't going to admit that. Why I'm saying that? Because I've lost money. It's happened to me. I always put my money where my mouth is. I would never share an investment to anyone unless I bought it first. That's Rada knows, Kelly knows. That's how I operate as a professional. If you're going to sell a product, would you put your money into it first? If that person says no to you, I question that. Sorry, but I question that. I do. We live in a different world. You've got to be a client within your space to be successful in that space. I'm a firm believer in that. Has anyone else got... I'm going to take a little... I expect everybody to smile now. Say thank you for tonight. Give us a thumbs up. We're going to take a little... So, did everyone receive value from tonight?
Absolutely.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful.
What's one key thing that you've learned tonight? What have you learned? One key thing.
Think long
That
term.
you can do it if you set your mind to it.
What else?
Make
Think
money
long
work
term.
for you.
Sorry?
Make money work for you.
Exactly, exactly. Do we like Charles? Do we trust Charles?
Yes.
Was he driven you, has Charles driven you nuts tonight?
Absolutely. Always.
Always. Yeah, good one,
Always.
Kelly. Good one, Kelly. Yes.
Thank you.
Charles always drives us nuts. Come on.
And I'm already nuts.
Tonight. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for hosting it. It's been
Thank
great.
you, Charles. Thank you, sir.
Thank
you.
you, Charles.
Will we catch up again next week? Same time, same place?
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Same topic.
Channel.
So nice to see and meet you all.
Yeah.
Same here,
Nice
Susan.
to meet you.
I wish I would have started on time because I would have really got to know a little bit about you, but maybe next week.
Yeah, next week, Susan. Would it help the European audiences if I went from 8 o'clock? So it'd be 9 p.m. Sydney time, which would be more like your 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. Would that support?
The whole thing that happened is I had my phone alarm set when I first committed to you, but I didn't have my my phone ended up dying. So it went off. So it wasn't charged. I'm not in the habit of making it charged when I sleep.
Yeah.
Which somebody says you're supposed to plug your phone in before you go to bed, so it's always charged.
Yeah, fair enough.
But what happens, Susan? That actually drains the battery.
Yeah.
That's why I never charge mine at night. I wait till the phone goes completely dead or close to it before I'll charge it.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, my father, I gave him an Ericsson flip phone. He kept it on charge all the time. He'd take it off charge and the battery was flat.
Oh.
And I've actually found, so what I do now is I let my phone run down during the day and I'll put it on charge about 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon, evening. That actually lasts overnight. And then I'll charge it up first thing in the morning again for another couple of hours here.
Man, I talk so much. My phone runs out of battery just in a couple of hours.
Yeah. So
Smartphones.
Yeah. So Mel, did you have any questions, or do you want to sort of go on more on a sort of one-on-one level, or?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. You did help. You did help. I'm actually going to do. I'm going to do a YouTube tomorrow about work smarter, not harder.
Okay.
So, which I was trying to work out what I was going to do, but now I'm going to do work smarter, not harder.
Okay.
So I'm going to sit down. So thank you, and I will credit you tomorrow too, Charles, during the YouTube video.
Yeah, because look, I can understand that we've all, when we talk about freedom and well-being and health and money, when you don't have it, it's a challenge, because we've been brought up to work hard and save and work hard and save and work hard and save, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not against that. I just don't believe that process works anymore. Because no one's given me the proof that it works. You know,
and we all need multiple sources of income.
Yeah, you know, the writer of this book, Napoleon Hill, will tell you now, working hard and saving, it may have worked in the 1800s, but not in 2021.
Yep. No.
In all the books that I read on a regular basis, you know, yes, we've got to work hard, but we've got to apply those. Like if I'm going to the gym every day to be fit and healthy and to grow that muscle, I've got to apply the right formats, the right techniques, the right behaviors. Correct? If I just go to the gym and do 100 push-ups, I'm not going to achieve anything, because generally push-ups isn't enough anyways. It needs to be incorporated into a program, into regular training on a full-time level. Money's the same. You know, money's the same. Yes, you've got to start zero. You've got to be that employee for a while. But being that employee, it's going from that job to being that business owner to building an empire. We've all got to start from somewhere. But if we inject a different way of living and apply that particular formula and process, before you know it, you think, shit, Charles was right. It's not a lot of money, but it's not the point of the amount. It's the point that the process and that level of behavior works. Is that it works? Yeah.
Excuse me, Charles, what was that book you're holding up? Would you be able to send me the name and author of that?
Yes, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That's my book.
That's a good book. I'm reading that.
Good.
Hi, Susan.
Yeah.
How are you? I just noticed your name.
Yeah.
I wear these glasses and I'm outside. It's a little bit foggy. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy to be with you here.
What was it again, Charles? Sorry.
So these are my two Bibles at the moment.
I can't see that one. No, the other one. No, the other
one.
Yeah, that one.
Secrets.
Oh, what is it? Secrets. Oh, yeah.
The power of negotiating.
Is that one? Because at the end of the day,
there's so much value in negotiating.
Well, earlier on tonight, I gave everybody a little hint. This is impact negotiation. These are my mentors.
Awesome. Is that a book as well?
That's a book as well.
Yeah.
These are my mentors. I've worked with all four. Been trained by Kieran, by Bob Danzers. I've been trained by these guys. My earlier tip tonight was, we all go shopping. Obviously, on the other side of this lockdown, when retail, or if you're in Europe, shops have opened. When you walk into a store and you pick up that toaster or kettle, whatever it may be, and you stick it on the counter, say to and I do this a lot when I go shopping, and it can drive people nuts. You say to the shopkeeper, is there any chance you can move on price? And you stop talking. And they're looking and go, what do you mean? Well, I noticed the product online was $10 cheaper. I'm here now. It's cost me time, effort to get here to look around in the shop. Would you be kind enough in moving on price? You'd be surprised the answer.
And nothing feels better when you get a good deal.
Oh, I never pay full retail. I've never paid full retail.
Most of the time they do it too. Like if you just actually ask, they'll, yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I
You have
just
nothing to
put, can I
lose,
just
right?
say, yeah,
Sorry? Go on.
to,
My son,
You
I
wanna
don't
go
know. I think there was a gentleman speaking before me.
yeah, I was just going to say, I actually sometimes, I'm a mystery shopper, and quite often when I go in, and I will, if say I'm doing a laptop job, I
Yeah.
will actually try to get a package deal. So you might get a laptop, you might get a laptop bag, you'll get office, you'll get the security, everything like that, and they'll do it as a package deal for you, which
Yeah.
will bring the cost right down. And that's quite, and it's actually a lot of fun. And I go in there and I say, I'm under budget. So what? How much? What sort of a package could you do for me if I bought right now? And it's amazing how much they will run around to get everything done. And then I'll say, I'm going to think about it. Can I get some information? I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee and think about it. Music's too loud. I'll come back later. and that's what I do with them. But that's I mean, as Charles said, you don't pay full price, right? So, yeah, you don't.
It reminds me of working for a very well-established, well-known business owner in my early years, and he always stressed the fact of your purchases need to be the least. That's where you can save your money. So in other words, he doesn't have to put his prices up to get the profit. He goes in and he looks at all the costs and expenses, works on bringing them down. So it's when you're buying things, that's very important too, right? The price you're paying.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got to look, you can't expect this to happen overnight. You just got to build that courage and just ask. You'll be the shyest person in the world. And just ask, hey, look, I don't earn a lot of money. I've got kids to feed at home. Would you be kind enough in giving me a discount on price? Just ask. If you don't ask, you'll never get an answer. Yep. You won't even get a no because you haven't asked. Yep. You could be the most introverted person in the world. Say, look, can you move on price on this product? And I'll go, well, I'm afraid I can't. Well, I've got kids to feed. I need a toaster. My son.
And they'll say, go to Kmart and pay $8 for it.
and it blows up within 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the same with the banks as well. If you're on a mortgage or looking to borrow money, you don't really need a broker. You walk into your bank and say, right, Mr. Bank, I hate to break it to you. I've got a cheaper rate next door. So, how hungry are you for the business? Do you want me as your long-term client? Because I'm going to be paying your wages for the next 10 years. Imagine walking into a bank and saying that.
That actually works. My daughter just did that. She's currently building a house, and she did that to the bank at the beginning of the year. And she's ended up with a really good interest rate. Like, just basically, because I went, wow, you really did that? Like, she said, yeah. She said, why am I going to pay a higher interest rate? And the bank manager, it works.
I'm curious to know, a little off subject, what your interest rates are in where you are in Sydney, Charles?
So the average rates are, look, interest rates in Australia have been a record low, God, for the past decade.
Yes.
And the Reserve Bank are very good at manipulating rates. And the purpose of the manipulation of rates is to drive consumer confidence, to encourage borrow and to encourage the lending facet of the process. So, could be anywhere 0.3%, 4%, if I'm being humble about it.
0.3?
You can get anywhere between 2 to 4% from a lender.
2 to 4%. 2 to 4%.
2 to 4%.
That's about the same here where we are.
That's the average. Yeah, depending on the type of loan. If you're
Yes.
financing a motor vehicle, typically, you know, work-related expenses are typically higher. If you're looking just to buy a home, a mortgage, anywhere of upwards of 4%. I know you can get cheaper, but I'm just being humble.
Right.
Yeah, that's the average, yeah, amount.
I think our average here for, you know, the good credit people are, I think I would say, I think I would be safe in saying about 2.5% for buying a home. It's the down payment that really causes problems for some first home buyers, because I think it's still at 20% down payment they need to have. So yeah, interesting. The real estate has been a real crazy ride. My daughter-in-law and my husband and my son are all in construction. So yeah.
Yeah. Look, look, construction and property is it's a highly complex environment.
It sure is.